Markets have tanked over 2% after the RBI stunned today with a surprise rate hike announcement. The RBI governor, Mr. Shaktikant Das, announced the raising of the key lending rate by 4 basis points to 4.40%. The RBI lending rate has been hiked for the first time since August 2018 and came as inflation continued spiraling upwards. The RBI has also raised the cash reserve ratio by 50 basis points to 4.5%. That's to ensure liquidity in banks. So the hike in the CRR reflects liquidity being taken out from the system. Also, the Sensex has slid by 1,306 points, ending at 55,669. The Nifty also falling 391 points. All sectors today ended in the red, including realty and metal shares.
Tormented by rising inflation? Your household expenses are likely to rise even further, the RBI has warned.
To increase the policy repo rate by 40 basis points to 4.40%.
In a surprise move, it increased the main interest rate from 4% to 4.4%, which is the repo rate at which RBI lends to banks.
It is, however, important to recognize that despite our strengths and our buffers, India is not an island in this globally connected world. There are spikes in headline CPI inflation in March 2022 as anticipated in the MPC statement of April. The print for April is also expected to be elevated.
The rate has been stable at 4% since May 2020. In a similar emergency announcement, the RBI had then cut the key lending rate from 4.4% to 4% in May, in response to a global economic standstill caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The first hike in 4 years comes in the backdrop of soaring inflation. Retail inflation has remained above the RBI's target for the last 3 months. It neared 7% in March, a 17-month high. The RBI hopes to tame inflation with this rate hike. Governor Shaktikant Das warned that inflation is likely to intensify in April and said that food prices will continue to rise given global commodity price shocks triggered by the Russia-Ukraine war. Virtually on cue but unrelated, another worrying forecast. The Food Secretary told NDTV that they expect less wheat production than initially expected, down by as much as 5.4%.
एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट के हिसाब से पहले 1110 लाख मीट्रिक टन का उनका ओरिजिनल एस्टिमेट था, जो उन्होंने रिवाइज करके 1050 लाख मीट्रिक टन किया है.
करीब 5% कम हुई है.
करीब 60 लाख मीट्रिक टन का रिडक्शन.
But it's not just food. The central bank said that domestic hikes in fuel prices are also intensifying inflationary pressures.
The direct impact of increases in domestic pump prices of petroleum products beginning the second fortnight of March is feeding into core inflation prints and is expected to have intensified in April.
The opposition and some experts say the onus is now on the government to cut tax on fuel.
It is possible for the government to bring down inflation. That if the government was to reduce taxes on diesel and petrol and on CNG, it would reduce inflation rate without any intervention by the RBI.
What does the RBI's move mean for the common man? EMIs are likely to rise if banks follow suit and hike the interest rate on your home loan or vehicle loan. With Panchami Warrior in Delhi, Anasya Mathur for NDTV.